Oh, damn it.
Damn, I can't get it. There you
All
go.
right, ready? Hello. Welcome back.
That was weird.
Welcome back, boys and girls, to episode 29.
29. Yeah.
29, or if you're joining in part of season 2, this is episode 2 of season 2, technically.
Yep.
As you can see in the video, if you're watching on the video, if you're not, you're listening, we'll describe it for you. But if you see on the video, we got some new toys on the table here.
Some have been seen, some have not been seen.
Some have been talked about and not seen, too.
Yep. I think the two big ones are right here in the middle of the frame.
Yes, the two biggest ones, but the smallest.
Probably the smallest.
In dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're listening and you're wondering what the hell are these guys talking about, we are talking about our suppressors. Of course, as y'all know, Hunter's had one suppressor in already, which was the Trash Panda.
Yeah.
The
Trash Panda. Yep.
Dry blood right there.
Hey, ADD, come on.
Oh, dude.
What?
No, that's the Cerakote flaking off.
Is it?
Yeah.
Already?
What? Is it? Or is that?
No.
Oh, no, that must be gunk from the deer. Yeah, because that's where his head was.
And you're licking your finger and touching it.
Oh.
All right, are we going to start over? Or just
No.
keep it going? Okay,
Let's
that's
keep going.
fine.
Anyways, as you can see, we have two new suppressors here on the table. Hunter, start us out. What's the one you've been waiting on since you got yours first?
Yeah. So I think it was the last episode of season 1 was it 27, episode 27.
Yep.
We were talking about waiting for our suppressor still, and like 2 days after that recording, I ended up getting the tax stamp for it. And then we took like that little break, and
you finished your paperwork on yours in March.
yes.
I finished mine February 2nd.
Yep.
And you got yours before me. Now, I don't know if it has to do with I went with the trust on mine or
Sometimes it does.
the fact that you already had one.
No, because my first one was about the same time, about 6 months.
Maybe it had to do with the trust. I mean, I still didn't wait a crazy amount of time
There's people waiting a year.
because I got mine the
16
weekend.
months.
No, I got mine 2 days after the wedding.
Yeah.
So, which was October 23rd, and I finished mine on February 2nd. So it's what? March, April, May, June, July,
8 months.
August, September, October. Yeah.
9
Right.
months. Somewhere like that.
Somewhere like that. Which, we can complain about all we want to the ATF and federal government. They're just not going to care. But
Nope.
it was worth the wait. I'll tell you that. If you're on the edge of buying a suppressor or not, definitely worth the wait. But, I kind of interrupted you. Talk more about yours. You got the
Yeah.
Surefire.
SPS 300.
I thought it was a SOCOM something.
Yeah, it's part of their SOCOM line. Actually,
Oh.
it's their SOCOM SPS 300. Let's see what it actually says. Yeah, SOCOM 300 SPS. Close enough. But really no reason besides the coolness factor of it.
Mm.
Because I have the Trash Panda,
Mm.
and that's a 30 cal can. This is a 30 cal can.
Mm.
There's really no reason why I needed another 30 cal can. I just thought this one would be kind of cool.
I do like it. It does look sexy.
And it was like one of the original suppressor designs that was mass manufactured.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It kind of looks like...
It's an old school design.
It looks like the suppressor that was on Chris Kyle's.
Yeah, it probably
Mark,
was.
Was it Mark 4? Which one is it that he had the...
AR? Mark 12?
No, not the AR. The bolt gun. The 338 he had.
TAC 50? Or TAC 338?
Yeah.
It's probably the same brand, but not same.
Well, I'm saying it has that look to it.
Yeah, it's very...
Of course, his is probably about a half foot longer.
Yeah, probably a little bit thicker too.
Yeah.
But, just the coolness factor of Surefire.
Which him being the man he is, his would be longer and thicker than yours.
Probably, but most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. There's really no other factor besides just the coolness of it, and then the history behind Surefire. there's a reason why SOCOM still uses them.
Yeah.
There's a reason why military and law enforcement across at least the majority of the U.S. uses them. So,
And on that one, it's 30 cal rated, which for those of you who don't know, that means you can shoot from 17 HMR to 300 Win Mag.
I wouldn't shoot 17 out of it.
Well, that's what they say on on mine. That's what they advertise it.
Mine's just 5.56.
That one right there.
Mm-hmm. It's not because of pressures or anything. It's because 17 HMR is a rimfire.
How are you shooting 308 through it? If it's 5.56 can, I thought
It's a 30 cal can. I said 17.
So how low can yours?
5.56.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I misheard you. I was
No,
thinking you were talking about like designated 5.56
like
can.
on their website, it's 5.56 to 300 Win Mag.
Oh,
And
okay.
it might be Norma. 300 Norma Mag's a little more pressure. But
See, now on mine, they rate it as 17 HMR to 300 Win Mag.
which is weird because most cans now, that if they're not rimfire cans, which 17 HMR is a rimfire,
Yeah.
it's either rimfire or it's not rimfire.
Mm.
It's kind of what I understand. So I'm surprised I actually put that, because I would never shoot something I can't take apart and clean. The
Yeah.
baffles, I would never shoot rimfire through.
Yeah, just because how dirty it is.
Yeah.
So, you've shot it now, of course, today. Was today your first time shooting it?
Yeah.
That suppressor?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you popped the cherry on it.
No, because whenever we went on that hunt, the pig hunt, I brought it with me for the AR-10.
Oh, but you never shot it.
I never shot it. I brought it just in case.
So, okay. Well, then that
Yeah.
even better. So, popping the cherry on it today.
Yep.
Walk us through. Of course, you've shot suppressed before, so it's
Yeah.
nothing new to you. But
So-
what did you think about it?
So to me, we went indoor today.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with indoor. You really can't experience it.
Yeah, you
to
can't
the
experience
full
it quite
potential.
because you're wearing ear pro. And
Yeah.
you got
But
people next to you shooting unsuppressed.
yeah. But
What's that? There's a guy on YouTube. He makes his own shirts now that say "Real men shoot suppressed" or something like that. Have you seen that?
no. I've been off the YouTube game for a minute.
Which it sounds weird, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm better than anyone, but you feel different once you have a suppressor. Like you feel
Yeah.
like a different
Yeah.
caliber of shooter.
Yeah.
Not
So-
like it makes me better shooter. It's just like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. You feel like before you're just your average hunter. Now you got a suppressor, and it's like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
feel different.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like getting a tattoo for the first time.
So this one I feel more different than
Well, because it's bougie.
no, not even that's bougie. It costs the same as the Trash Panda.
Nah.
I didn't pay MSRP for it.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah, but
Actually, I'll just stay on the podcast. So, the gun store I bought it from, they were running a deal on Surefire suppressors. Like it was like their Christmas deal or New Year's deal special, and I was like, I kind of want a Surefire, but I originally wanted either the RC2. Like I wanted the 5.56 dedicated can.
I've been looking at the RC2.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
the black
it looks-
short version of that.
Yeah, it looks just like that. Or
Yeah.
like the RC2 Mini.
Well, I was looking at the RC5 or the RC7 actually.
I don't think they have an RC7.
Could have sworn I saw one that said
No.
RC7.
Let's do a quick Google search. But we'll do a quick Google search while we're talking about it. But what kind of irritates me a little bit about this can in particular, on the website they advertise it for, they optimized it for 300 blackout.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every single can.
Suppressors,
Yeah. Almost every 30 cal can that's over 5 inches in length is optimized for 300 blackout. So I think it's more of a marketing gimmick to push their other lines of suppressor so you get multiple. So they have the RC2, 5.56 RC2,
Mm-hmm.
the Mini 2, the SB2.
What's the? I could have sworn they had an RC7 on Silencer Shop's website.
I think there's another company that has something that's like that. Well, they have the SOCOM 762 RC2.
Maybe that's what I saw. The 762.
Yeah. So, looking at this one, like the SOCOM 300 versus the 762 RC2, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It's only $50 difference. So, it might have something to do with point of impact shift. But with this one, so one thing that Surefire is really good at, because they've been probably in the game the longest, is point of impact shift, taking on and off the suppressor, which we tested today with this gun, the Seekins that we've talked about before. So like, for those of you who don't know, the point of impact shift is like, so let's say you zero the gun without the suppressor,
Mm-hmm.
you throw the suppressor on, and then it shifts. So like, it'll be like 3 inches down, 3 inches to the right, something like that.
Which in my case, this gun that we'll get into in a minute,
Yeah.
when I shot it unsuppressed, it was 2 inches high. Of course, that's also with me. This is my first. We'll get into it more, but the caliber this gun's in is the first rifle I've ever had in this caliber. So it could have been part of.
It's getting used to.
Well, yeah, it could have been part of me not used to that caliber unsuppressed
Yeah.
of why I shot 2 inches high.
Yeah.
But it was 2 inches high
Yeah.
without the suppressor.
Yeah. But, Surefire's been in the game for so long that they kind of accurize their suppressors,
Mm-hmm.
like minimizing that point of impact shift. So, like, specifically with this one, I think it was like a half inch to the left whenever I took it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was very, very, very minimal. Like, you could just move the scope over literally half an inch, and it'll
Mhm.
be hitting dead center where you're wanting it. Not like I'm going to shoot the gun unsuppressed now.
So, going to also when your first impressions of it, that some suppressors add to the recoil, some mitigate the recoil.
Oh, it took it almost all the way. Almost all of it.
Which I shot that gun unsuppressed, and it already didn't have
and
much.
so I weighed it this morning with the suppressor, scope, everything except for ammo, and weighed 16 and a half pounds, right in there somewhere.
Which, if you're listening, you're probably thinking the same thing I am. I am not carrying that motherfucker around. Now, carrying it to the deer stand, not bad, but
It's not a backpacking gun.
no.
So what's weird about Seekins though is that they all their advertisement for this gun is like in the mountains and stuff like that. I'm like, I'd never carry this gun in the mountains.
Hell no.
But if I had to, I would. But there's companies that if Seekins were to get into the market for it, if they did like carbon barrels or even shorter barrels, or even like a lighter contour barrel, this is a thick barrel. Like when I was putting the muzzle brake on to put for the suppressor,
Yeah.
dude, I saw how thick that. You saw how thick the
And see, that's a full.
it's
Is
basically a full contour all the way.
Is that a full heavy or a full bore, or a full what do they call it? What's the other? There's heavy and then there's. Damn, I'm blanking out.
It's not contoured at all.
Bull. Is that a bull or a heavy? Like a full bull
I
barrel?
want to say it's heavy.
But yeah, no, there's no.
I'm not sure. There's so many different terminologies.
It's
for
not tapered or contoured. If for those
No.
of you listening,
Like, if you ever see one in store, pick it up and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So like, this gun compared to that gun, there's probably a good eighth of an inch difference
Mhm.
in the total thickness. And like you can see a slight taper off on the gun we'll talk about here in a little bit. There's almost none with the Seekins.
yeah, like the one that we're gonna talk about in a minute, my new one, the one you see in the video right here. It's a heavy barrel, but it's got a taper to it,
Yeah.
and
It's a small taper, but it's a taper.
yeah,
But anyways, going back to the suppressors, first impressions of it, it took away recoil.
mm-hmm.
There
Compared to your Trash Panda, did your Trash Panda mitigate it, or did it add?
so I've never really shot my Trash Panda on a bolt gun except for my 22-250.
In 2050, yeah, there's not
Yeah,
much
and
to it.
there's not much really to take away to begin
Especially on that rifle at Brigera.
with. Yeah, it's so heavy. The gun absorbs most of it anyway.
I
But
think most of their Brigera models are around 9-10 pounds bare bones.
I think this one. I think the 22-250 is 9.5
Yeah,
out the box.
yeah,
like the way it's set up right now, which is a reason why there's nothing on the gun,
yeah.
which we'll get into here in a little bit too. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. There's a couple other guns that I want to try it on. Like I put a War Comp from Surefire on my AR-10. I haven't shot it since I put it on there, so I don't know how that goes. I really wanted to put a muzzle brake on it because you shot that AR-10, haven't you?
No,
No, you haven't.
I've seen it, never shot it.
Yeah, it's pretty thumpy. It's a thumpy little guy. Like it's probably worse than that gun.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 16-inch barrel too.
Yeah, it's short. That's
Yeah.
why. But there's still things I want to do to it. I still want to put a lighter trigger in it. I'm considering putting a heavier buffer in it
Mm-hmm.
to slow it down a little bit. because it's just you don't see where you hit if you don't remember your target and it's already shot up, you're not
Yeah.
going to see where it hits, or even if it's blank, you're not going to see where it hits. So, but yeah, overall I'm happy with the Surefire. I think this is the first time this gun's on camera.
Yes.
Yes, it is. We've talked about it. We talked about it last episode.
Did we? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned we didn't
mentioned
go
it.
into it.
We kind of went into it a little bit.
Mhm.
So, quick rundown of it. This is the I'm having a brain fart here. Sorry. Seekins Precision
hit
Havoc hit.
or Havoc hit.
Yeah. And I think I told the story about how I got it, but I'll run through it again. So,
Yeah. And also, for those of you listening and watching, we'll have each of these guns. I don't know if y'all follow us on Instagram, but we're on Instagram at H&H Awakening Podcast, or is it just H&H Awakening?
It'll be in the description.
I always forget.
It'll be in
Yeah.
the description.
But if you want to see any of these guns up close, personal, get better looks at them, they're all going to be slowly popping up on Instagram. We
Yeah.
got a few rifles on there right now.
Yeah.
The one that I'm going to talk about in a little bit, there's a
It's already up there.
it's up on there with the fresh kill that we'll talk about too in this podcast. And then Hunter's got one of his ARs on there, and we got just go check us out.
Two my ARs.
Yeah, 2 of your ARs.
Yeah.
But check us out. We got some photos of them on there.
And then if
different
you
guns.
guys want to see more stuff too, leave a comment down below.
Yeah, let us know what you want to see pictures of.
Yeah, because we can get pictures relatively quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on the day.
Yeah.
Some days we're busier than others, but
I really like, which I don't know if y'all seen them on the Instagram, let us know. But I don't know why, but I really like. Have you seen the AR picture that I took in the grass, and then I took my 22-250. I took a picture of it in the grass, the same spot.
I think so.
I don't know why, but I really like the way it looks in that grass.
Good contrast.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah.
You get some good green.
Have you seen the AR one I posted?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
it just look. I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know. So, but yeah. Anyways, check out if y'all want to see good pictures of them. But for now, Hunter will describe.
Yeah.
I see a little pattern on that cheek riser.
Oh yeah. That's not a selling point for me by any means.
Well, yeah, but no.
All right, but we'll go.
But to
the
tip of
tip, yeah.
But the tip.
We'll go opposite of Flannel Daddy today. All right. So towards the back, I don't know how much the camera can see.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see it. Okay. So the reason why I went with the Seekins Havoc, first of all, I think it's a cool gun.
Mhm.
I think it's a great bang for the buck, especially right now in the precision rifle world. Looking at your Ruger Precision should not be that expensive by any means.
Ray.
No, I think he bought it before it jumped up in price. Anyways, so towards the back, you got a folding stock. I'm not going to show it on camera. We can show up like a close-up video of it, or you can look it up on YouTube. But it's a very, very stiff stock. So I don't want to.
It is a bit of a pain to fold.
It's a pain to fold from this position, so I'm not going to do it.
But this isn't a rifle that you're gonna have in your backpack and quickly unfold it and go to town with it.
No. This is like you can, but not with this barrel.
If you had like
I'll go into it a little bit later because there's some things that I want to do to this gun.
Yeah.
It's just going to take time and a lot of money. So,
Yeah.
But so it's a fully adjustable length of pull. There's like some knobs. I don't know if you can see it right here. There's like a little knob right here. You basically loosen that, and then you can adjust it.
Mhm.
You can push it forward or backwards. Same thing with the cheek well, but it's on the other side, so your face isn't digging into it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. It is carbon fiber. It's not a selling point for me. Honestly, this is the worst part about the gun, in my opinion. I think it's a little uncomfortable to put your cheek on it. It's very, very thin.
See, that's how I felt about the Ruger Precision. Is it was kind of uncomfortable to put my. But
Yeah.
you could get a pad for it.
Yeah, you can. But it kind of defeats the purpose of the carbon fiber because you're adding weight to make it more comfortable.
Yeah, that gun that carbon fiber ain't helping lighten up that gun at all.
And if anything, I'd rather it be steel. It's like I was telling your dad earlier. I'd rather it be steel and add some weight to the back because the center point for the gun is upside down. It just shut off. Center point for the gun's like right here.
Yeah.
Or no, it's probably more about right about here. I'd rather have it right about there. And all the weight's in the barrel because the barrel's 24 inches long. no
plus
taper
the
with it,
suppressor,
plus the suppressor.
which adds
Even-
another 7.
7 inches?
Yeah.
It's probably about 6.5 because it's over the barrel a little
Yeah.
bit. Anyways, I don't know what grip this is. I think it's pretty comfortable.
It's like a pistol grip for those of you who can't see.
It's I don't know how to say it, like ergo fat palm pistol grip.
The way it
It's-
reminds me of, it looks like a grip off of like a 44 mag revolver.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that it feels. But it's fat palmed.
Yeah.
You stick your hand on it. It's comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Got a big old.
Yeah, and I'm almost positive it's just an AR grip, so you can swap it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. And then I don't know if it is specifically or not, but I believe it's a Timney trigger stuck in it. From the looks of it, it looks like a Timney trigger.
Yeah. I mean, it's
there's no markings on it.
it's
but
stock
it-
from factory, but it
Yeah.
looks like maybe they had Timney or
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah. So on the other side, can't see it here. There's a dust cover.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for some sort of backpacking or
Yeah.
something, which we'll get into in a little bit. So the scope on it is that Vortex Viper PST Gen 2 3-15, which came off that gun, which is why there's nothing on that gun at the moment. The rail, I think it came stock on the gun. I don't remember the rings I put on it.
Which, quick little interjection, purely for the looks of it, because that scope's amazing. I'm not nothing against that scope.
It needs a bigger scope.
Purely for the looks,
Yeah.
I think a 50 or a 56 millimeter objective would look amazing on that thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about it, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, but like a gun like this, a big, long, heavy,
Which we're
long range,
which the scope that is on that gun, which we'll go into a little bit,
yeah.
and thinking of putting it on this gun.
Like on a long range rifle, I think a fat freaking scope,
And
50 millimeter
the
objective
gun's
just
already
looks
heavy
sexy
enough.
on.
Like a half a pound's not gonna kill
Yeah,
it.
but it just, I don't know, it just, the
But-
look of it makes
yeah.
it look so good.
It is a fluted bolt.
God, that's my kryptonite. Hunter knows.
And so the thing about the bolt, I don't know if you really looked into it. It's not fluted all the way around.
Yeah, so that's what's
Um,
weird about that one.
But I don't know. I still think it's for the aesthetic.
Which, when we get into it more here in a minute on the rifle I got, I have tried both the fluted and non-fluted, just regular stainless looking bolt. To me personally, maybe me, my dad agrees too actually, but the fluted bolts in the rifle we're going to talk about in a minute do feel smoother. It
Yep.
makes the action smoother.
Yep.
I mainly want it, I'm going to say it, I mainly want it for the aesthetic look of it, but it does add a little smoother.
I think there's something to it. I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what it is. But this gun's never been greased on the bolt, and I think it's still pretty buttery.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay.
No, because both of your rifles that you got sitting on here, neither of them are greased. That one feels like it's greased, like it just needs a little more grease.
And it was used, so it probably
Yeah.
was at some point. But
Yeah.
I've never done it.
Yeah. I mean, it
and-
doesn't look greased.
No, it doesn't feel greasy.
But
either.
thing is, though, is
even the inside
Ungreased, that bolt
Yeah.
is pretty darn smooth compared to the
Yeah.
Bergara ungreased.
Which
And I'm not hating on Bergara. I'm just saying.
it's me not taking care of it. That's
Yeah.
more or less what the gist of that is.
Which the
Um,
grease I've been using, we can get into later. I'll show you off camera.
I like Lucas grease, Lucas oil grease.
Well, Lucas is who I use for my oil,
Yeah,
my gun oil,
yeah.
the little needle tip.
Mhm.
But the grease it's black. I don't know who makes that. I can't remember.
Yeah, you probably have to show me. I really enjoy the Lucas oil grease.
But the reason I like the black on this gun is since it's got that bright, shiny stainless bolt.
kinda hides it a little bit.
It kind of dims down
Yeah.
the. But anyways, go back to what you're saying about the bolt.
Oh yeah. The one thing I'm not a huge fan of is how thin the actual bolt knob is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know if you fondled with it or not, but
The-
it just feels thin.
Yeah, no,
It doesn't feel cheap. It just feels small.
I like a
and I don't have giant hands.
I
and
like a
that's-
big knob.
Yeah. Which the Regars do.
Yeah, they do have pretty nice knobs.
Which I really like that one. But it looks like I was kind of looking at it earlier. I think you can just take it off and put a new one on.
Most of them you can just unscrew them.
But like with Regars, you can't. No, you probably
No, you can't, because I've seen
can.
it on that forum I'm on.
Yeah.
They change those knobs out all the
Oh,
time.
okay. And then it came with an MDT 10 round. What is it? AISC or AICS mag.
It's got a window on
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't care about the window.
Yeah, I mean,
But
to me, the
it-
window mags are really only important for like semi-automatics, because when you're
Yeah,
if you gotta
and-
like,
in combat situations or competition.
well, yeah,
You don't really need windows for
bolt guns.
bolt guns or LARPing. So,
Yeah,
LARPing probably a little bit more, but if you're just going to the range, you don't really need windows. One big selling point to me though is that you can swap these barrels out pretty quick. And
do you need a certain tool for that?
I don't remember what. I think it's like just an Allen key. I don't know what size. I haven't taken it apart to actually look at it.
Yeah.
But you literally just take. So what I was told, this is how easy it is. You just take the handguard off. I think there's 8 bolts. There's 2 right here, and then there's 2 on the side, 4 on the bottom. Take those off. There's another. I want to say it's a nut or a bolt on the bottom of the barrel. You unscrew it, pop the barrel out, and you put another one on. So this one's 308.
How well does that retain zero?
I would guess pretty well. I don't know. I haven't tested it yet. We'll have to play around with it. Because these barrels from Seekins, they're hard to come by right now. They're back ordered 6 months, or no, sorry, 6 weeks right now.
Maybe one day when we have some time, we'll do another range video.
And we'll swap it out and put it back in or something.
Yeah, take it off, put it back
Yeah.
in, and then see how it retained the zero.
Yep. But so you can go like I think what they have on their website, they have 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 PRC,
300 Win Mag.
300. No, they don't.
I thought it was
No, it's short action only.
6.8 SPC.
No. They have 6 GT, which is a competition round,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have another one. I don't remember what it is. It might be 6 millimeter Creedmoor. I believe it's 6 Creed, which basically is souped up 243.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what they sell. But there's a company that sells aftermarket barrels. They're ungodly expensive. They're $800 a piece, but you can get any caliber that'll fit in a short action. So you can get a 22-250 in this if you really wanted to.
So if you say that's a 300 or that's a 308,
yeah,
and you wanted to swap the barrel out for a 6.5 PRC,
yeah,
do you have to change anything in the action? The
yeah,
bolt?
yeah, you do. So on the bolt, because the bolt face is a different size,
Mm-hmm.
they sell the I don't remember. They sell the 3 different, like the standard bolt, the standard bolt face, the small bolt face for like 223, and then the magnum bolt face. And those are like the 3 generic sizes. So 6.5 PRC has a bigger bolt face than 308. So, and then I think you just pop out a pin and you shove it in there.
Quick tangent because you brought it up. I don't understand the deal with people getting these bolt gun 223s.
Trainers, like if you're really into competitions, then it's like
Well,
so if you and I are really into competitions and we really like shooting the Seekins, we get a 223 barrel for it because 223M was cheap, and you can practice the action because it's the same length action.
Well, there's a popular hog hunter on YouTube,
Yeah,
and he has a custom 223 bolt gun that he hunts with sometimes.
Amazon.
Mm-hmm. He's got like 2-3 of them. He's got like 3 or 4 custom 223
Well,
bolt guns.
223 is super cheap to buy. Like,
Yeah.
like you can plink all day with it. So I don't know. That's my only reasoning behind it. Competition wise, that's what it would be for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of it. I did get
What are you running for a bipod?
I did bite the bullet, get a Atlas bipod.
Which Atlas is it?
I don't remember, dude. Their models are so weird. It is. I don't think it says it on there.
Yeah, it does.
It does. What does it say?
I can't read that far on my glasses.
PSR. Oh, let me see the flashlight. It might be on this side. Oh no, it's not. I don't remember. I can find it on the website. Throw it in the bio.
Yeah.
Something.
Now, I've never had an Atlas, and I will say this is the first time I actually paid attention to it since you've had it.
Yeah.
I do like you can lock it in different angles.
Yeah.
So right now it's a straight up and down.
Yeah.
Your typical.
And you can do 45 in the
You can do
front,
45. That
either
way, if
direction.
you're wanting to, get a little bit lower, just those
Yeah.
different kind of weirdness.
Yeah. So I just bit the bullet on it because it does have a QD mount for Picatinny. They
Mhm.
do have the Arca Rail stuff for it.
Which I'm thinking about getting Arca Rail for that one.
I'd go Picatinny. I'll be honest with you.
Really? Well, the only reason I was
So-
thinking about Arca Rail is because of bipod or tripod mounts for cow hunting. You can mount it right here and it'll hold the gun because it's center of gravity.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it just depends on what you want.
Well, they make one of the Arca Rails I'm looking at, Area 419.
Mhm.
Has it's an Arca Rail, but at the very front it's a Picatinny, so you can still mount your Picatinny bipod, and then run your other Arca mounts.
Well, so there are some advantages to Arca. It's a wider surface area,
Yeah,
so you get less wiggle.
and it's
um,
quicker.
It's quicker to just sometimes. This is pretty easy to take off because it's just QD. You just flip a switch, you take it off.
Yeah,
So, and I've run Harris's. I have nothing against Harris. I just wanted something a little bit different. I've heard a lot about them, so I just wanted to do that. They have the Havoc Hit Pro, which from all I can see that's different. It just comes with an Arca Rail on the bottom.
yeah.
It's literally the same bottom. They just put an Arca Rail on it, and you can get it separate later if you really wanted
Which
to.
there are. Speaking of Arca, just quick little thing. I've been seeing handguards for ARs with Arca integrated into the
Yeah,
handguard.
I know Geisley has one.
Yeah.
I don't know who else makes. I really haven't been paying attention to gun parts recently.
Mhm.
I'm in a communist part of the country right now, so working.
Yeah, Hunter's living in the great state of New York now.
Yeah.
He loves it. He
I-
calls me every day and he says, "Man, I want to leave Texas forever and come to New York."
Shut up. Well, it's also cool
So many people just unfollow
about
us.
the Seekins though, because it's like a tactical kind of gun.
Yeah,
So,
it's scary.
it's scary looking, man. But there's a spot right up here in the front. You guys probably won't be able to see it. There's 4 bolt holes right here.
Yeah,
You can put a Picatinny spot right here so you can mount night vision.
that is badass.
Yeah.
Because I've looked at it for this. You can do them on like
But you kind of got to rig it a little bit.
you gotta
Like-
you gotta shave and mold it into the chassis.
Yeah, and it's kind of a pain.
Yeah,
But this is also almost double the weight of that gun.
and double the cost almost. MSRP wise.
MSRP wise, yeah.
Yeah, not what you
Yeah.
paid for it. We get it. You get good deals.
It just happens, man.
So, you love the gun.
Yeah,
Seekins Precision Hit
Havoc Kit.
Kit.
Yeah.
You got the Surefire. What again?
SOCOM 300.
SOCOM
SPS.
300 SPS.
Yeah.
Loving that.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, and I'm running the muzzle brake from Surefire too. I don't know if I said that at the beginning.
so for those of you seeing and then those of y'all listening, maybe you're asking yourself this: running suppressor, do I need a wrap? I know you have a
What?
wrap.
I do have a wrap. For bolt guns, yes. 100% yes.
And I know my reason why. Why do you say why?
Mirage.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
100% Mirage.
Mirage or running thermals.
Well, it depends how much you're shooting too. Like,
Yeah.
if you're just gonna pop one shot off at a deer, you probably don't need it.
Yeah. Whoa. You shouldn't be using a thermal on a deer.
No, I didn't say thermal. No, I just meant you probably don't need it at all.
Oh, well,
the
yeah, no.
suppressor cover.
yeah. But no, yeah, like thermal hunting definitely would recommend it. I haven't got to test it out yet because my thermal's on a non-threaded rifle right now. But definitely, I have a wrap on mine.
It helps out if you're gonna shoot a mass volume of ammo,
Yeah.
like within.
Well, I shot like 5 rounds out of mine, and I needed to put it on because of the Mirage.
yeah, that was the same with mine too.
Yeah, it does
And
help.
I didn't have one, and it kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But there's other factors with that too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Mirage. It was a little bit of everything. Nothing against the range.
Yeah.
It's just you can't fix that.
Yeah.
So, basically, just clouded up the whole gun range. So,
And also, last thing on that Seekins, it does have an integrated scope rail already.
yep. I think it does.
That's what it said on the
Oh,
website.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Which is also cool because it saves you. I mean, then again, you're paying that much money for the rifle. It ought to already have
Yeah.
all that. But
And so the reason why I dug into Ruger for the Ruger Precision. At least right now, I think they're like what $1,900
Mm-hmm.
for the Ruger
Something like
Precision, and it's nowhere near as good as this. And you could pay $200 more and get this.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
e-
definitely
even-
I've seen both Ruger
And
and
even-
this one.
yeah.
I
And
like this rifle way better.
and-
Aesthetically,
aesthetically, it looks better.
Yeah.
It shoots a whole lot better. There's attributes to this gun that are
is that
they're-
an MDT chassis?
no Seekins chassis.
Because it looks like an MDT chassis.
All chassis kind of look alike.
Yeah.
Once you kind
Yeah.
of, but yeah, let's hop into your gun. What do you got?
All right.
Hold on. What did you get in about 2 months ago?
Not 2 months ago.
Are you going? Or sorry, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. Y'all know I've been
Tip-
waiting on it.
We're gonna go tip to butt on your gun.
Tip the butt. As you can see in the video, and you listen, and you've probably guessed it by now if you've been paying attention to what we're talking about. I finally got my freaking suppressor in. And so I got married October 21st. And 2 days later, the best wedding present ever came in. Actually got the email at 4 in the morning,
Yeah,
I didn't-
Mine came in at like 6.
but I didn't see it until I woke up, of course. I woke up
Yeah.
about 9 a.m.
Yeah.
9 a.m. I woke up and saw it. 9:30 I was at the store picking it up because I was like, oh my freaking gosh. My wife was like, she's like, what? I was like, my suppressor came in.
And she's like, oh.
She's like, yeah, she don't care. But I was like, I gotta go. So
She needs to shoot it and she'll understand.
yeah, I got
So
the
that's what mine did. Like she never really shot guns before. I've taken her shooting,
yeah,
and then I took her with a friend who had his suppressors with him,
yeah.
and she shot suppress, and she was like, I like it, I won't. And I was like, yes.
So
This next one's for you.
I went for my first one because I will. This is one of many I'll eventually get. I went with the Yankee Hill Resonator R2.
Why'd you go with that one specifically?
At the time, I went with it because of the price point, and it had a very good reputation.
Yep.
Because Yankee Hill's been in the game a little longer than some of them. I mean, they're one of the more like surefire in them. Because you got some newer brands out, you don't hear as much.
Yeah.
They
like Texas Silencer go. I didn't know they went under.
Yeah, I didn't
until
know they
today.
did.
I thought they were still kind of kicking.
But Yankee Hill
But-
just had a good reputation. Well, actually, the first one on my list was the Trash Panda, but that one was on back order.
And what sucks is you got this one, like you got all the paperwork done, the trash panda came in stock.
Yeah,
Which, just typical.
but no complaints. I love it. The price was very cheap. At the time, it was like $550. Now they're like $6 something.
Yeah.
Um,
It depends where you get it.
Yeah, but I got the suppressor, did the $200 tax stamp, and I did a trust on it, so I can eventually add my dad or whoever. So yeah, the Resonator R2. If you can see in the video, I got a suppressor cover on it right now. I got it at a gun shop here. It turns out these suppressors are actually made local here where we're at. United States Tactical is a suppressor cover. Pretty nice suppressor cover as far as they go. It's the only one I've really dealt with.
See, the one thing, so we were talking to the dude at the gun range, and he said they're doing like the bungee thing.
Yeah.
I don't like the bungee thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like the Velcro a lot more than the bungee.
I will say
I-
the only complaint about the
it's-
suppressor is I can't take it off and on. The suppressor off and off the barrel with it
Oh.
because it's not tied enough.
You're never going to get that.
Yeah.
No. In my opinion, you should wait till it cools down anyway,
Yeah.
because you're going to, the only suppressor I don't think you have to is the Surefire. And that's because the mounting system's separate than the actual rest of the suppressor. So, with RC2, how does the RC2 connect? Exactly.
RC2.
No,
Resonator
sorry,
R2.
the R2.
So the Resonator R2, and sorry for y'all if y'all hear this loudly, but it's a ratcheting system on their muzzle device. This one right now is I don't remember the model. I don't have the package with me because it got like 6 different ones. Oh no, this is the Phantom Mini. I know that now. This is the Phantom Mini 7.62 flash hider that Yankee Hill makes. It's the only one I have a flash hider on. Actually, no, my 10-inch.
Your 10.5 inch does?
10.5 inch. I bought a flash hider for that one
Okay.
too. Now, the only reason I got flash hider for this one and that one is because when I went to go get them from the store here that carries them, they were sold out of the muzzle brakes. So I just went with the flash hider because I was like, screw it, whatever.
5.56 with flash hider's
Yeah,
it's not bad.
But yeah, so put that on there. The way this suppressor mounts, and if y'all want to see a picture of it while you're listening, it's called the Yankee Hill Resonator R2. The way it mounts is goes over the muzzle device. You'll find where it's got a groove that'll pop in. There it goes. Once it pops in, you just screw it on, and then you give it 1, 2, yeah. So 2 full turns. You'll hear it ratcheting, and then you know it's on there. It holds it great, no issue. The only issue is as you can hear, obviously, in the audio, compared to hunters, is if I were hunting and I wanted to, carry it off the suppressor to mitigate the weight, distribute the weight on my pack or whatever, it is a little louder if you're trying to screw it on before you shoot. So generally, when I've taken this gun hunting, I just leave it on there already and walk with it because I'm not walking that far.
But there's no reason you don't, you can't, there's no reason to take it off. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, if you
unless
if you're doing
you're restricted in a bag.
Well, if you're doing a long backpack hunt or something, you can put the. That way, if you want to carry say for whatever reason you got to carry the gun in your hands, if you have the suppressor off of it and in your backpack, it kind of helps distribute the weight. Yeah. Because the suppressor I think weighs like a 18 ounces maybe. Yeah. So a little over pound.
I'm not sure what the Surefire was,
but anyways, it does help a little bit. The gun is a little lighter with it off there. Anyways, I've shot this suppressor through my 16-inch 5.56, which is AR platform. I've shot it through my 22-inch 6.5 Creedmoor Ruger that y'all seen on here before. And I've shot it through my new rifle, which is the Bergara B14 HMR and chambered in 308, my first 308. And if you're a long-time listener, you're probably thinking, damn, Hunter finally got a 308. Yeah. I'm not against 308. Just want to back that up. I've just said that.
Second caliber.
I've just said that with my shoulders, 308's not my first caliber I'd go with. But
we have a story about that here in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. With this rifle, I will say, with this rifle and this suppressor, which this is what I was kind of wanting to get into, different suppressors, every suppressor is different. They all relatively suppress the same, but as far as mitigating recoil, because a buddy of ours has a different brand suppressor, and his, in my experience, added recoil to my 6.5. This suppressor cuts that recoil down by like a half, 3/4 of what the original unsuppressed recoil is, which I bought this rifle a few days after I got the suppressor, and I've never shot this rifle suppressed, 308, never shot suppressed just because of my shoulders and everything, because it does amazing. I'd say this rifle, the Bergara B14 HMR, weighs 9.5 pounds bare bones with the scope and everything that I'll go into in a minute. Probably looking around 10 or 11.
I'd say probably 12.
12, okay.
Yeah.
12, good ballpark number.
Because that scope's chunky.
Yeah. With everything on here,
probably 12.
The recoil's not bad at all because, whatever. I did shoot it unsuppressed for the first time today, and I'll never shoot it unsuppressed again because, holy cow, I did not realize how much recoil this suppressor was taking away from me. So shooting suppressed on this rifle is like shooting a 22-250, like my Weatherby's I have. Shooting it unsuppressed is like shooting a true 308. That freaking, which for those of you know, I've had both shoulders done and everything. I just can't really control the recoil that well. So yeah, suppressed 308 in this rifle, amazing.
Well, what were your words whenever you shot it without the suppressor?
I probably look like a noob who's never shot a gun before, because I had the worst muzzle flip, the worst off-target sight picture after the shot, everything. It was bad. Yeah.
And then he comes over to this gun that weighs 16 pounds without the suppressor.
Didn't move.
But it also has a brake, which helps out a lot.
Yeah. It probably didn't help. I had a flash hider on mine, not a brake, but...
Yeah. But, so I will say one thing about the RC2. It's a great suppressor because my
Resonator R2.
Sorry, Resonator R2, not RC2. My dad has one. Mm-hmm. He really enjoys it.
Yep.
My one complaint is how goofy the muzzle devices are.
Yeah, the
Like-
actual
like-
the
like
QD mounts.
But they look goofy to
They
me.
look like a nipple, like a milk bottle nipple.
Yeah.
Like what you'd use to feed a goat or something.
Yeah,
But the suppressor does look sexy for
for what it is.
what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's no complaints about it. This suppressor is not bad whatsoever. It looks good. It's got like, you know,
I mean, there's a reason why it's as popular as it is, and
they're
from-
such a well-known company
yeah,
because I mean they've got success rate.
yeah, and then it's not even just like I'm pretty sure Yankee Hill Machine's been around for forever.
Yeah,
Like, beginning of like Iraq and stuff, they were building like AR parts and stuff like that, and then suppressors were getting really popular, and they just made one that was
And
really budget friendly.
with them, well, the thing is though, is with them being such a established company, they can sell these suppressors for lower price
Yeah.
because they have the equipment, they
Yeah.
they have the foundation to
Yeah,
back that.
and it just shows that there's really not a whole lot to a suppressor.
Yeah,
I mean, the name has a huge play in things,
Mhm.
like Surefire. It's just a name.
yeah,
Like between the performance of both of them, we'll have to shoot them like side by side and
Mhm.
actually probably go into depth. We'll probably have a video about that
Mhm.
here pretty soon. Like not like next week. but-
suppressor breakdown, all three
Yeah.
of ours.
Yep. Because like I will say that the Surefire, to me at least, because I have shot I have shot my trash pan with a 308.
But here's another thing you got to go into: the length of the suppressor. The trash pan is shorter than both of these.
It's an inch shorter. It's not.
Barrel length, the
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So that's a good point. Yeah.
Because the shorter the barrel, the harder it is going to be to suppress all that. Because
Yeah. Well, it's not like the actual sound. It's more of recoil, impulse,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So one thing I do like about both these suppressors is how slim they are.
yes,
The trash pan is dummy thick. It's wide. Like I wish I had it up here at the moment. I was just honestly too lazy to go grab it. But it's oh god, what was it? Inch and a half thick? I think it's about inch and a half. Something like that.
yeah. I remember when I held it, it felt pretty familiar. What I hold every day when I pee. No, but yeah. So going back into it, the suppressor been amazing. I've never shoot unsuppressed again, other than today. I just want to try this gun unsuppressed. About by far worth the wait. So I got this Yankee Hill Machine Resonator R2 on it, and then going down, I got a 20-inch. It's a heavy barrel. I can't remember the taper and all that.
I think
exact-
Bergard is number 5.
Yeah, it's number 5.
I think do a number 5 taper on all
Yeah.
the barrels.
So, anyways, 20-inch barrel on a 308, which also is really good with the suppressor because now you're looking at a, 27 roughly with the suppressor, 27 inches of barrel length total,
Yeah.
with it attached. Which this gun relatively is a more compact, shorter gun with a 20-inch barrel. That's what I also liked. Anyways, heavy barrel. It's Cerakoted with their black, whatever color they call it. And for those of you who know, the Bergars, Hunter says Bergara, or no, I say Bergara, you say Bergara.
Yeah,
I always mess it up when I'm around you. When I'm around you, I like start to say Bergara, but I always say Bergara usually.
it's Bergara.
Yeah, but Bergara,
Yeah.
Bergara, boy. Anyways, for those of you who don't know, Bergaras, their actions and everything and triggers, they're all modeled after the Remington 700,
Yep.
as most bolt
Yep.
precision
Like-
bolt guns are
Yep.
nowadays.
This one is too.
Yeah,
So you can take triggers.
yeah.
You can put mounts, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So basically, me and Hunter could swap triggers out of these rifles right now because they're R700 platforms.
Yeah.
So yeah, 20-inch barrel, Remington 700 based action, or the Bergara, what they run in there. Right now, it doesn't have a fluted bolt. I do want to eventually contact them and get a fluted bolt, but this bolt works amazing, no problem. Stock trigger, I think it comes 2.5 pounds.
That sounds about right.
I know it's
I kinda-
adjustable.
Like later, I want to test the differences
Oh yeah,
to see if they're actually different. Because I don't.
I like where it's set right now. It's pretty hairy. It's like I don't have much take up, nothing. Probably the best trigger I felt in a bolt gun, other
Stock.
than stock. Other than your Seekins.
But the Seekins is,
It's in a different ballpark.
It comes from the factory with it,
Yeah.
but I still think it's aftermarket trigger. So,
Yeah.
which, whenever I was looking at the gun, like, because it was on the used rack, I was looking at it, and I noticed that it was Timney.
Mhm.
It's a Timney trigger. And then I asked the dude, like, hey, is this aftermarket? He said no. And I was like, I don't think he knows what he's talking about. So, and then I looked it up, and they come with it. So,
Yeah. And then for
even though it's
bipod,
not, even though it doesn't say Timney on the trigger, I bet they made some sort of deal. But
for right now, the bipod I'm running is the shortest Harris they got. I can't remember what it's called model wise.
too many different weird model
Yeah.
names.
Just the short 4-inch extension, whatever. I don't
Is
remember.
it 6 to 9? 6 to 9? 6 inches to 9 inches?
No, that's not 6 inches right there, is it?
I don't know.
No.
And
Anyways.
cut.
And then, I fell in love, which I've wanted this 90-degree angle grip, which you can see it online as well, the Brugera. I love that, like, 90-degree angle pistol grip feel.
Fat palm.
Yeah, fat palm. The adjustable cheek riser, which when we get into the scope in a minute, you'll know why I have it maxed out all the way high as it can go. And then you have your length of pull adjustment. I haven't messed with that just because I like the way it is factory. I got all 3 stock blocks in it.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Like unless like you're short, there's no reason to get it.
And then so my only complaint about this rifle, and I know a lot of people complain about it, is you have your QD cups on the side of the stock. They're not locking QD cups.
What?
Yeah, look.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like they don't.
They allow it for free swivel.
Yeah.
I would, because that's been annoying carrying it on my back. It'll swivel and then get all weird on me.
Yeah.
I wish they'd locked, which I've seen aftermarket ones. You can
You just-
unscrew these and put
yeah.
those in. Probably won't ever do that. But, yeah. And then right now I'm running the Magpul Sling. I think it's just called their M1 Sling or something like that. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know. I don't really know Magpul's. It might be M2 because it's 2-point.
Well, this is the Sling off of my AR that I was running.
Yeah.
I'm eventually going to get the Vickers. What's it called? Vickers.
I think it's just their Vickers tax sling.
Yeah, something like that. One with
Yeah.
pad in it.
Yeah. I'm thinking about getting one too.
Yeah.
I have the regular one. I think I'd prefer the foam. I want to try out the foam one
Yeah.
or the padded one.
So that'll probably be the sling I eventually run on it in FDE. It comes with from factory. It comes with the 5-round mags, in 308 at least 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm. It's the same mags as the Seekins.
And you can run
10 rounds.
10-round P mags and
Yeah, the AI CS mags, which
Axis or whatever they call it. ACI,
it's
however
like-
you pronounce it. ACIS. I don't know. ACIS.
AICS, Accuracy International.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's just a magazine design.
yeah.
It's kind of goofy that they do it that way, but it's popular. But it's super expensive to get mags.
I do
Magpul's the cheapest one.
I do like the mag release on these guns
Yes,
compared to my Ruger.
that's one thing I'm not a huge fan of on the Seekins. It's really small.
Yeah.
Like compared to the Bergara,
It's kind of
wide.
springy. Have you noticed that?
This one.
No,
Or
in the Bulgaris. It kind of like shoots
it out. Yeah.
Well, right now it's full of
Ammo.
ammo, but
Yeah.
watch, even empty. It kind of, I don't know, because the other day I was sitting there messing with it, and I went to eject it, and it shot it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of, which I like it,
Yeah.
because you don't have to, worry about grabbing it. Because
Yeah.
usually, like sometimes empty, you got to pull it out because it doesn't have weight
Yeah,
to drop it.
This is one of them, kind of.
Yeah, it just kind of drags.
So with the MDT one, I don't have to pull it.
Mhm.
With the Magpul one, I do.
Yeah, because it's
it's-
lighter.
Yeah, and I think that plastic sticks to the like the inside of the mag.
Yeah, the
well.
mag well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So that's everything on that. As far as optic wise, I'm running Warren Remington 700 action scope rail with the Warren heavy duty 34 millimeter objective rings. They're high rings, high length or high height. The reason I went with high
You kind of need it.
is 2 reasons. One, the scope that I'm about to tell you about is a 56 millimeter objective, so I needed a little height to get that objective size to not be touching the barrel.
Probably could have gotten away with medium. You probably could have gotten away with lows,
Also, though,
but you don't have time to mess with it. So
I ran into this issue I noticed on my AR with the suppressor cover on it.
because it's so thick.
Yeah, on my AR, I can't see, or my suppressor cover takes up like a third or half of my scope.
On 4-power?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Yeah, this running high rings, I don't see the suppressor cover at all
Yeah.
on any power.
Yeah.
But on my AR, I have noticed with the suppressor cover on,
Yeah.
I see the suppressor cover in it.
Which people thinking, oh, why do you run high rings? Just for a suppressor cover, blah blah blah. You need to go as low as you can. Like there's that whole argument, high versus low rings.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean, the first reason I did the high ring was because of how big of objective it was, and I didn't have the rifle with me.
Yeah, you really got to play with the Seekins. If I were to put that scope on this gun, I probably would need higher medium.
Yeah.
With this scope, I probably get away with. I think these are super lows.
Yeah, because yours doesn't taper down.
And it's pretty close to the barrel. It's about a quarter of what yours is.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't look goofy
no, it doesn't.
with that big scope. Now, if I had a 40 millimeter objective, it'd look goofy.
It'd look kind of goofy. And we're talking about aesthetics over function.
Yeah.
But what's the point of having a gun if it doesn't look sexy to you?
Yeah.
Like to you,
So
you like what you like. So
the scope I'm running, the optic I'm running on it right now, is a newer Vortex product.
within the year.
Yeah, within the year. It's the Vortex Venom. It's the 5 to 25 5 to 25 by 56. The 5 to 25, of course, is a zoom rating or power, and then the 56 is the millimeter or the objective size, 56 millimeter. And for those of you wondering, what's the difference between smaller and bigger objective sizes? The bigger objective sizes allows you to gather more light into the reticle. So, lower lighting situations, the bigger objective is going to typically help you see a little better in lower lighting.
Yep.
Now,
it depends.
it depends on the glass inside of it too.
Have you ever looked through like a Swarovski scope? Because they don't have anything. I have never seen anything bigger than 44 on their stuff, and it's the brightest stuff I think I've ever seen.
Well,
but
my Venom
it's
or my
a,
Viper is
it's a
pretty bright.
$2,500 scope,
Yeah.
and there's nothing really special to it other than the glass quality.
Well, I will
Which
say,
Swarovski I think is unbeaten in glass quality.
Yeah.
Binoculars, spotting scopes, everything. But
I'm pretty sure they use Zeiss glass.
no, they use their own glass.
Who's it that uses Zeiss glass? Maybe it's Vortex.
I think Bush does.
Bush.
I think Bushnell use.
I know
I-
Zeiss has their own scopes, but I
Yeah.
could have sworn another company was using Zeiss glass.
We'll look into it.
Yeah. Anyways, now my Vortex Viper HST, it's a 44 mil objective, and it's just as bright as this one. But
It's the low light stuff.
yeah,
Like at dusk and dawn,
Mhm.
like that's where it matters.
yeah. So I wanted, of course, with this rifle being 308, I'm kind of wanting to make it look like a, precision rifle, I guess. That sniper rifle look to it. Chris Kyle kind of 308 look.
Yeah.
Without painting it and everything like he did. Anyways, so I went with 56 millimeter objective, 34 millimeter tube, the Vortex Venom. I love the thicker turrets, the look of them. Kind of like the Night Force. How the Night Force got those thick turrets.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
And I think that compares to like the Vortex Razor stuff.
Mhm.
Like I think it's the same turret,
yeah.
or it's really really close to the same turret
Which
at least.
also something that I don't think my Viper has on it that I really like about the scope. It just kind of aesthetically looks cool. Is the medallion right there that's embedded in the
Oh yeah.
turret.
Yeah.
It just kind of looks cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a hunker of a scope. It's definitely got some weight to it. And if you see in the video, I got my sunshade on there. Just for looks right now. I mean, I do use it when I'm hunting. I used it the other day when I was hunting, just because the stand I was hunting, there's quite a bit of a sunshine in your eyes, so that kind of help mitigate some of that
Direct sunlight.
that glare into
Yeah.
the scope. But yeah, no, love it. Hunter gives me shit about it, and another guy I know gives me shit about it. But right now, the ammo I've been running through it is Remington 308 Core Lock 150 grain PSP.
I give you shit because it's not because
It's cheap ammo.
it's not because it's Remington or because it's Corlight, because it's cheap.
Yeah,
And
but the only reason I run
so,
it,
and I've shot some, not that line,
Mhm.
like not the 150 grain. I think I ran
the
one-
green tip.
No, did they have 165 grain soft point? Or they used to.
Probably.
Something like that. It was a heavier bullet in 308, and it didn't. My Remington 700 did not like it.
Yeah.
So and
Which every rifle is different. You got to
yeah,
find what
yeah,
runs well. in
yeah.
it.
Which you tried different kinds of ammo.
Yeah.
You
I
tried
tried
six
different
kinds?
boxes.
Yeah, and that's what shot best out of your stuff. I mean that's.
And the thing is, and I'm a little biased towards the Remington Core Lock because my 22-250s love it. I've killed almost every deer with those 22-250 Remington Core Locks. And then I just killed my first 2 deer with this rifle, actually,
Yep.
with this Remington Core Lock.
Same day too.
Same day, yeah. Which we'll kind of go into that story now, I guess. So I had this rifle, been all excited about it, got the suppressor. I told Hunter, I was like, man, I need to pop the cherry on this rifle and pop the cherry on this suppressor. Because I got the suppressor, got the rifle. It's ready to go, sighted in. Which also, real quick thing with the Bergeras, this gun was sighted in 2 shots. Blew my mind. It was crazy. And then I had some scope issues because I didn't tighten it down, so I had to resight it in.
Which is weird because I wouldn't think you would do that.
I've never had that happen to me. Somehow it happened this time. We're not gonna go into it because it was a whole headache. But make sure you tighten down your scopes to spec. But anyways,
Don't over torque it either.
yeah,
Don't crank on it. Just
every scope should tell you what the
and
torque specs
like
are.
Vortex is 18. I think Loophole is like 21, something like that.
Yeah,
Don't go over that spec limit because the companies do not like it when you send it in for a warranty and you over torqued it.
so
Trust me on that. I dealt with customers that had that issue. So
I go out hunting a few times, seen a few bucks I was looking at.
he's all excited, calling me in the blind, bro. I saw the biggest buck I've ever seen in my life.
I did see a one bigger than the one I shot, but I only seen him once, and he just. Well, he turned out he was wider, but he wasn't taller or nothing. He didn't have mass to him. He was only like a 6 point. He was just crazy wide, like 18, 19 inches wide.
Dang, that's wide though.
Yeah,
That's a good sized buck, especially for out here.
yeah. Which
We've seen a lot of big bucks this year, apparently.
yeah, there's been
like-
a lot of people knocking down some monsters this year.
Like not even just shooting them, like hitting them with cars and stuff in the morning. Like my mom almost hit one down the road from her
the deer in
house.
Texas are on roids this year. It
Yeah,
seems
it's
like.
the bucks. The bucks
The
are on
bucks.
roids this year.
So I go out the day after, or no, I go out there the evening. I was sitting in the stand. Got there a little later. I got there around 2:30. No, I got there right at 3, I think, actually. I got there late. Gets dark about 5:30, 5:20. So anyways, I get out there, sitting in there, messing on my phone, texting my dad, asking him, hey, what have you been seeing out of this stand? And then right after I text him that, all of a sudden, boom, this doe comes flying out of nowhere about 160 yards out. She comes flying across, running straight towards the feeder, and then she cuts back and goes to a tree about 40 yards behind the feeder, and then cuts back right and goes back in the trees. Well, as soon as she goes around the tree, this buck comes flying out after her, and he looked good. He's freaking wide, big, which he's still a nice buck, but at the time when he came out running, he looked wider than when which kind of goes into the ground shrinkage thing. It's very, very true ground shrinkage. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in the hunting world, there's ground shrinkage, which means when you see the buck in the moment, he looks like a huge monster, and then when you shoot him, you go up to him, you're like, oh, he wasn't that big, as I thought. But anyways,
Oh, because like he hits the ground and
they call it ground shrinkage, yeah, because once you put him on the ground, then you actually walk up and see him.
yeah.
He's like, oh, he didn't look as big as I thought he was. So the doe comes flying around, goes around the tree, and disappears. And the buck comes running out after her, and he comes around the tree, and he looks, and he's trying to like figure out where she's at. And I already had the gun in the window, and he stopped. And during the rut, it's a very quick, fast-paced thing. You got to be ready to act on it. You don't have time to sit there and wait. I could tell he was definitely legal. Like, he was well past the years that I could tell he was legal, which in our county, they have to be at least 13 inches inside spread.
I think that's most counties.
Yeah.
Like in most of Texas.
I just say my county because I don't want to like say 13 inches and then someone somewhere
Yeah.
go, oh, okay, yeah, that's the rule.
Yeah.
Do your research, look up your county, what the regulations are. But
Whenever
in my
you get your
county,
hunting license, you get that hunting annual.
yeah.
It's county to county. They tell you all your rules.
So,
like in West Texas, for mule deer, it has to be 20 inches,
yeah.
which is a pain because it used to be, I think, 16.
Which mule deer, that's not as hard though because they're typically,
They're wider, but
yeah.
they raised the limit up a couple years ago, and that pissed off a lot of people. Because
It's probably to help with the
it was
population.
to help raise the male population because there's so
Yeah.
many does running around out there, and the male population is so low. I started breeding with the whitetails.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a hybrid of them?
Yeah,
They're ugly.
I thought they were pretty nice looking.
I think they're cool, but they're ugly deer.
Yeah.
Like the ones that are fucked up. They're fucked up. Like I've heard stories of one antler being whitetail, the other one being mule deer.
So you kind of got like a real thick base on the other one end and then
Yeah.
thinner on the other.
But like they're symmetrical with each other. So it'll be like, they'll have a brow tine, then like three more
yeah, like a
spikes,
G1,
and then-
G2.
Yeah, and then it'll be a brow tine and then three on this side. But one side's significantly bigger than the other. Never seen it in person, but I've heard stories from cotton farmers and stuff like that out there.
Yeah. So the buck comes out. He stops or whatever. So quickly, I just threw the gun up, shot. I rushed the shot a little bit. I hit him great because he dropped. At the time when I ranged him, because I just quickly ranged him when he came out, because I wanted to know if I needed to hold over or nothing, or something, So I ranged him. At the time, I ranged 265, which once I got out to where he was at, he actually was 220. I guess when I ranged him in the moment, I may have scanned over him, but he was 220 yards. Dropped him, and then I called Hunter, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude! I just dropped this freaking nice buck.
And
Buck's on the ground."
He's in an area with no service. I'm like, dude, I do not
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
He's just hearing bits and pieces.
But I knew he was calling me about a deer, but he was telling me about a big buck he saw earlier, which was the one he
Yeah.
said. And so I thought he got that one.
Yeah.
And then I hung up and I texted him, I was like, dude, I can't hear you. And then you called again. And then you're like, wait a second. I'll call you back in a second. You hang up. and
Yeah.
then-
Yeah, I was on the phone with him, and I had the gun on the window, and I was holding it, which you can see in the video. I was holding the gun with one arm, and then I had that phone in my other hand, and I was like, wait a second, I'll call you right back. And as I was hanging up with them and taking the phone away from my ear, I turned the rifle, and this doe pops out, the one he was chasing. She's like, because I shot suppressed, so she was coming out. She was kind of like, what the hell is that noise? So I just swing over as I'm mid hanging up, and I just... Her was a beautiful shot, just perfect. Took out heart and a little bit of lungs, everything. Just her beautiful shot. Him, it was a good shot, but I hit him in the more in the deep middle of his shoulder, and when it hit him, it just totally obliterated his right shoulder and then knocked a big hole in his heart.
Mhm.
It knocked such a big hole in his heart when we were field dressing him, gutting him, whatever. My dad said there was just like a pocket in his heart that he could just put his fingers in and pull it all right out because it just like blew out a big old hole in it.
It sounds like your granddad's deer from last year.
Oh, the one he shot with 6.5?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
couldn't find the entry, couldn't find
Dude,
the exit,
his
couldn't
shoulder,
find the bullet.
That ammo blew his shoulder up so bad whenever I went to like drag him, you could take his arm and it would just go like this in all directions. Like it just totally blasted his shoulder.
Yeah.
And then, anyways, so knocked him down. Then the spike came out. This was the weirdest experience I ever had. The spike comes out, and I'm on the phone with you, I think, because I told you, I said, a spike just came out.
Yeah, yeah. It was like that weird breaking up. Like
Yeah.
I heard. Hold on a sec. A spike came. And you're like, another buck came out. Wait, that's a spike. I
Yeah.
was like, well, shoot it.
Which in my county, you're allowed one buck greater than 13 inches or more inside spread. And then you're allowed, if it's under 13 inches, it's got to be non-branched on one side. So typically you can have a spike. As long as it's a non-branch on one side, it it can be a freaking 10 point on the right side, but if it's one single non-branch on the left side, it's counts as a spike.
I didn't know that.
Or yeah. But typically we just say spikes because most of the time if you're going to use that second tag, you're going to just see a spike, which
Yeah.
means non-branch both sides. So I can, in my county, I can have 1 buck, a spike, and 2 doe. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll knock them out. But then I got thinking, 3 deer, cleaning them up in one night, that's a lot of work.
Which we found out today.
Yeah,
That was a lot,
it was a lot of work.
Because we were supposed to go hunt today.
Yeah. But anyways, knocked them down. Rifle did amazing. I try to at least get some blood on each rifle. Which, if you want to see that deer and the rifle, it's on our Instagram, as I was saying earlier.
Probably won't post it on YouTube. For
Oh, the picture of it?
Yeah.
Well, why would we post a picture on YouTube?
well, because we were gonna do something with that pig the last episode, but we kind
yeah.
of discussed it
Oh, just
after
because,
recording.
like getting
Because
it
it was
taken
very
down.
It was very
graphic.
gory. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very gory, very graphic.
If you're not ill to graphic pictures and you want to see pictures like that on our Instagram, let us know.
I don't care about Instagram. We could get banned off Instagram. We have to start
Yeah.
a new one.
So, anyways,
we'll go to X.
the
or
rifle
Twitter.
performed amazing. Yeah, and then I got my first kill off of it.
Yeah.
Been an amazing opening. So opening weekend was November 4th. We are currently
It's
on
the 20th. Or we're 19th today.
yeah. So
Sorry, it's on.
the first few weeks, I watched quite a few bucks. Been kind of trying to decide which one I was gonna shoot. This was the second biggest out of the bunch as far as height and width. He ended up only being about 16 and a half inside spread, 16 and a quarter, 16 and a half. He was eight official points. I don't know exactly what he scored yet. I'm having him shoulder mounted at the dropped off to get shoulder mounted. But beautiful buck, amazing time. I very enjoyed it. Me and Hunter are gonna go tomorrow and test out both of these 308s
Yep.
on some piggies. Hopefully, so the issue with me is I was by myself, wasn't prepared. I didn't get to record anything. But tomorrow we'll be able to record. Which
It's going to be an actual video. It's probably going to be, I'd say, about 20-ish minutes. We'll cut down enough to.
I do have another product idea that we'll talk about later.
We have some things that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
It may be It may be a little bit before we actually get to it, because I remember last episode we talked about actually starting product reviews and stuff.
No. I'm talking about
Oh.
product of us making products.
Oh yeah,
I got another product idea that I'll talk to you about off podcast in a minute.
Yeah,
That has to do with that. But anyways, so
same thing from the other product idea that we were thinking.
no.
Okay.
I mean, that is one that I still want to do.
Yeah.
But this is a new thing that has to do with stuff.
Okay.
But anyways, hopefully we can get some triple kills possibly, and then we want to kind of stretch it out and get some far range.
I think a good range coyote kill would be pretty cool.
Yeah, which we can definitely get that out there.
Yeah.
There's one I can guarantee we'd see most of the time. So yeah. Anyways,
Oh, so while I was working in New York, sitting there on the job site, counting inventory, and I see something like across the street, middle of the afternoon. It's like 3:00, and I see this. No, actually, it was about noon. And I see this thing running past. I'm like, what? I'm talking to somebody. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It was the person I was talking to. She was like, oh, it looks like a deer. It's like that's not a deer. It's too small. It was a fucking coyote. Middle of the day.
damn.
And I was like, something messed up with that coyote. Sorry, that's ADD moment. I thought I should bring it up. And I was like, you got a gun on you? And she's like, no. And I was like, damn.
Yeah. No, we'll definitely put something down tomorrow. I'm ready to. We can both.
Especially, if everyone's gotten their
Yeah.
their season kind of taken care of.
Yeah. No.
Because I don't want to run out there and ruin other people's stuff.
No. Well, we'll be hunting my area, so ain't nothing ruined. We'll see a lot of pigs in my area.
I have an idea tomorrow.
What?
Set up on that tree line, like
Yeah.
the northeastern part of that tree line. Like
Mhm.
it's just like a big bush. Like so, like let's say like your blind's right here, and like 100 yards is like your thing. We'll set up over here.
Yeah.
We'll just
Do some ground. Oh, I can test out the ghillie suit tomorrow.
Oh yeah, he got a ghillie suit.
Yeah, I got a ghillie suit. By far the best thing I bought this year, under $50. It's on Amazon. Don't remember the brand. You can look up ghillie suits on Amazon. They're like $50. The one I got, pretty amazing.
So, O'Neill Ops.
Be ready for some footage of that.
I found the ghillie suit that O'Neill Ops uses. Dude, that thing's expensive. It's like $3,500.
I'm telling you, buy the ghillie suit I got, $50, dude. If it rips, tears, you just buy another one. It's amazing.
And it comes with a bag too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Dude, the badass little ghillie suit.
It comes with a rifle wrap and everything.
Yeah, I forgot to show you that when you came over earlier. You'll see it tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I did not realize it was 11. I need to get in bed because I got work at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good way to stop.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to go deep into something we were wanting to talk about, which we can do that in another episode.
So what our initial we can go like a quick recap because it's kind of like first shots because it was your less than 100 rounds on your Bergara.
Nope.
You're over 100 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! You shot 60 in a day. That's right.
The other day I shot 7 boxes of 20 rounds each. So that's 140.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
And then
my math was off.
I shot damn near 2 boxes today. So I'm at about 180 rounds.
That's what I'm probably about 220 on that. About 11 boxes. I have a lot of brass.
Which technically, I guess that's not the barrel break-in yet, because I think they say most barrels is 500 rounds.
But
I've never had a barrel break-in issue with a rifle. Pistols.
No, I've never had an issue with anything breaking in, because it's up for conversation. But in my opinion, barrels, they just wear themselves in over time, no matter what. It doesn't matter what you do. It depends. It's not good to go shoot competition with a gun within the first 50 shots.
Yeah.
Some cases it's fine, and you'll probably do okay, but most people don't. Because, from the factory, yes, they test fire probably every gun that comes out of factories and stuff, but barrels still have little crevices and stuff that need to be, worn down. The way I break in barrels, I just shoot them, and then whenever the grouping starts opening up a little bit, that's when I clean the barrels.
Yeah, that's what I did
don't
the other day.
I used to be super strict on cleaning schedules and stuff. I think for my ARs and stuff, it'd be like every 250 rounds gone through, I'd clean it, scrub it, everything go through. I don't even know I don't think I've ever cleaned the bore out on my 5.56, my 12.5 inch. I don't think I've ever cleaned the barrel out.
My ARs, I clean more.
I clean the bolt. I clean that every time I shoot, just because I want it to function.
Yeah.
Because if you shoot suppressed, it's gonna get dirty.
I have been cleaning a little more. This gun I've only cleaned once, and all I did was run a snake through it, and then re-grease the bolt.
Yeah. But our first probably product review is gonna be probably the B14s.
Yeah.
Not Bergara as a whole, because we haven't had experience with the other products, but the B14s, because we have 2 calibers. I personally don't want to get any more calibers. I think because we have similar experiences with the same gun.
You have 22-250, 6.8 SPC, 308, 300 blackout, 5.56.
Yeah.
What else you have?
308 and 308.
No. I'm talking about different calibers.
Oh.
308, 6.5, or 6.8 SPC.
I have a lot of 22s.
You have 22, 5.56, 308, 300 blackout, 22-250, 6.8 SPC.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think that's it. I think that's about right.
Because I have a 22, 22-250, 308, 6.5
I can't even
Creedmoor.
remember. I don't even know what I own. It's like we were talking about earlier. It's like I don't shoot half the guns that I own. But most of the guns that I own, it's readily available ammo.
Yeah, that's how.
Except for the 6.8. 6.8's kind of hard to find right now. it's not very popular
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, even though I think it should be.
I do want a
Or-
7 mil or 300 PRC.
So I've been thinking. So this gun, short action,
Mm-hmm.
7mm 08. It's a lighter recoil.
I've heard
than-
about it. I've never really looked into that caliber.
So it's just a 308 neck down to a 7mm. 7mm.
Which that's just a little bit bigger than a 243 bullet.
It's bigger than 6.5, smaller than 308.
So that's like,
It's like in between.
yeah, that's not a big difference.
It's I think
Because a 6.5
I
isn't
think-
that much. I mean, it's a noticeable difference, but it's not like a crazy
no.
bullet diameter difference.
It's about 1mm difference, give or take a little bit. Well, see, I think what is it? I think 283 is what 6.5 is, 284.
Yeah.
So, and that's about 0.15 of a difference. But, anyways, topic for discussion later. Because 7mm 08 out of this thing, no recoil, guaranteed.
Imagine like a 223 out of that heavy motherfucker.
Either,
Or like, imagine a 22 out of that.
well, so Bergara, they make the B14.
Yeah, I've seen that in the 22.
That's heavier than both those guns, because it's just a little hole through a tube, and that
Oh, yeah.
and that barrel's the same thickness all the way through.
Yeah.
Dude, that gun is a chunk.
But I mean, if you're getting that gun in the 22, it's you're definitely doing it for precision shooting.
Yeah, they call it the trainer because it's the same action as the B14. I think it's literally called the B14 trainer,
Yeah.
but it's in 22.
Well, there's a guy in Europe on one of the forums. He has this same rifle, but in the 22, and he uses it for hunting, like coyotes and stuff. Turns out there's a lot of people who hunt coyotes with 22 long rifle.
I feel like that's unethical. And if you're a good enough shot, you're close enough to him. I don't see.
There's a guy I know in Texas that hunts all his coyotes with 22.
I mean, you can headshot him.
That's what he does. Well, I
Oh.
mean, it's easy to be accurate with the 22 for the most
It
part.
is.
Out of a good rifle.
You should get a good bolt 22.
I have one in mind that we'll talk about off camera because the people probably don't want to listen to that. But there's a YouTuber I've seen, pretty badass. It's like a Q fix. It's not Q. But like if you,
Is it from Micah's?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a badass 22 semi-automatic.
What was it? I don't remember. So I went.
It looks like the Q fix, but
Yeah.
semi-automatic
Yeah.
22.
So, because now we're just kind of messing around.
Mm-hmm.
Some things that I'm kind of looking for. So I should probably get closer to the mic. I don't know how quiet I just was, but
Give me Zen.
uh,
I'll buy you some more tomorrow.
I put it somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Is it over there? Can you throw me a can? Or throw me? Can you throw me the can? So,
Make sure we're still recording while you're talking.
okay.
Oh yeah, we are.
Okay. Have you ever heard of 7mm short action ultra mag?
No.
It's basically a 7 rim mag, just in a fat.
Yeah, that's what
short
I'm thinking.
case.
I've heard of 7 rim mag.
So, so it's just the short action version of it. So I started doing some looking into with a coworker of mine who's also into like kind of just mess around kind of guns.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll fit in this gun. And that aftermarket barrel company that I was telling you about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
they make a barrel for it, or they can make a barrel for it.
For that gun right there.
26 inch,
God damn. It's a long barrel.
7 SAUM. Dude,
Which-
that'd be. But that's really, in my opinion,
Table.
huh?
Table.
Yeah,
gun.
you can use it for hunting, but there's a couple barrels I want to order from that company. Like I would like to get like a shorter 308 barrel, or even a shorter 6.5 Creedmoor barrel.
Yeah.
6.5 Creedmoor out of this gun would not move.
Oh yeah.
But I was thinking they also do carbon wrap stuff, and they do tapered barrels, and they do fluted barrels. But 7 SAUM, it's with that barrel twist that they make in 7mm stuff is comparable to 7 PRC. It's a little bit slower,
Mm-hmm.
but same bullet weight, like same bullet class, it's about 50 to 100 feet per second slower. And I'm like, that's interesting. But 7 SAUM ammo is more expensive than 7 PRC ammo.
7 PRC. What grain is that usually running?
I'm seeing it 175 to 180.
Can you run 7? Do they make 7 subsonic?
No, I wouldn't run subs out of that. So here's one thing we can ask the viewers. So we were discussing. So he has a 308 now. Was that the chair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we were discussing subsonic 308. You know, is it worth it to like look into getting ammo for or invest in the reloading stuff to do it? I say no.
I'll probably buy a box, definitely. So there's a guy I watch. That's all he hunts hogs with is subsonic.
Was it some
308.
Australian dude?
Yeah.
I saw the same dude. And I was like,
He drops them all day.
yeah, but he headshots him though.
Yeah.
But
What do you think I'm going to be doing
but
tomorrow?
he's also you also get close. Never mind. I was like, but he's only like 50 yards away. And
Well,
he's-
yeah, no, I'm not going to use subsonic for like 300-400 yard shots.
No, I know. Actually, that's probably the best way to do it. Another topic for discussion later.
Yeah.
But,
I will say,
which the reason why is because the BC is more consistent. You lose a whole lot less velocity. You should watch the Hornady podcast on ballistics.
mm-hmm.
Like they go over like the forward off stuff. Like like on the app, it says like their ballistics calculator.
I wish Remington. I need to get with you on that Hornady app, but
There's a reason why that ammo's not on it. It's not worth Hornady's time to do the.
well, it's only
reason.
Hornady ammo on that.
No, it's not.
That's all it's on mine.
On Ford off.
Yeah,
No, it's not. You gotta scroll all the way down to the bottom. I'll show you right now.
I think there's some Nosler.
No, they have a lot of different brands.
Hey, bitch, this
I'm
ammo is
listening.
proven.
Yeah, I know it's proven.
I get it's cheaper ammo, but I've never had one deer or hog or coyote run from me using this ammo.
I know you have it.
Look, says on the box, Hunter. Says on the box. That means it's
Look,
it's legit. Look,
look.
deadliest other than my wiener, deadliest mushroom in the wood
In the wood, just wood.
or woods. See, look,
Yeah. No, I know. It's a good soft point. It's a very good soft point.
deep
But
penetration.
look, I'm trying to show you.
I'm gonna get this tattooed on my lower stomach. Deep penetration and controlled expansion.
Okay. Anyways, no, look, they've got.
Dude, that's actually a pretty good tattoo. I think I'm gonna get that. The deadliest mushroom in the woods.
All right, look. So they got Cutting Edge. They have Federal, Fort Scott, Lapua, Norma, Nosler.
That's all like high end ammo.
It.
Sierra,
so-
Match King.
Yeah. So the reason Ford off is different.
So what's the
Well-
other calculator?
It's just the ballistic calculator. Ford off.
Can I enter that shit into there?
If you can find the ballistic coefficient of that bullet.
No, look.
No, look.
Go to
no,
that
I know.
one.
I know. I know how this works. Yeah.
And then you can enter the weight and everything.
Yeah, I know you can. I don't remember how to add the variables. Oh yeah. So you can go.
No, look, see, it says don't see your bullet listed, enter BC value.
Yeah. So the BC is ballistic coefficient. So what is that? 150 grain PSP.
150 grain core lock PSP. I could have sworn on the box it shows what the drop is.
They used to. It depends on the brand. I know Remington used to do it. My dad has old Remington ammo in his.
My newer box has it on it.
Is that not a newer box?
No, this is some.
So the G1 of the PSP is 314,
Yeah.
and so let's just look the comparable, the Hornady version of it.
See, I don't know what that means. G1.
The G1 is so there's two kinds of ballistics. We can go into a deeper dive of this later.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can do some research with the Hornady podcast. You
Mhm.
can watch it on YouTube because they actually have visuals and stuff that they show a lot. So the G1 is based off old artillery shells So you know like how like a pistol, it's like a parabellum, and then it just cuts off right there at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's how bullets were designed for a very long time. That's how that bullet's designed. The G7 is based off a boat tail and like a different kind of bullet.
Boat
shape.
tail, hollow point, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So like the 5.56 over there, boat tail hollow point. It's got a boat tail with a hollow point. The hollow point doesn't really matter. It's all about the boat tail
Mm-hmm.
and the shape of the bullet. Longer ogive with a boat tail. That's what G7 is. So like with like the 50 BMG, like the very expensive match grade 50 BMG that's what you use. You don't use G1. It's not worth the point of using G1 to use G7.
Yeah, we definitely need a deep dive into that.
Yeah. I can teach you the little bit of knowledge I know about it, but it is a deep, dark.
Maybe we'll
rabbit
have a
hole.
little lesson on one of our episodes.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good idea. I've got an idea I can talk to you about after the podcast too. So, it may be more towards the spring when we can get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever weather gets nicer and we have more time. But you said you want to get into long range shooting and stuff. That's kind of the idea. So, and the best thing about long range shooting now, like back in the day, you needed to know a lot of math. You don't really need to know math anymore. You plug it into an app on your phone, and you call it good.
Well, the thing is, like, tomorrow, what I was getting into it is if we see a pig out 350 yards,
Yeah.
what do I need to hold over on it? Because I got the drop tree.
Do you have velocity on that?
Not this box. My other box at home does have it. The
Okay.
other core lock box.
Okay. It's going to be roughly what comes out of that gun. I'd probably knock off about 100 feet per second.
I think it said if you do it 2 inches high at 100, it'll hit dead on at 200.
0 out of 100.
I zeroed at 100.
Okay.
I zeroed at 100 and aimed with my middle dot and hit
Yeah.
this where I
So
am.
here's one thing that I've seen a lot of people. So
Well, I mean, all my
You
other
know,
rifles
you're-
growing up, I've always done 1.5 inches high at 100.
Yeah,
On my
but-
20-50.
yeah, it's just so you don't have to hold over. You can literally just point and shoot. But in
A lot of people do 1.5 inches at 100
yeah, here's why people shouldn't do it. So let's
with
say
ballistic calculators.
no, like if you don't, even if you don't have a ballistic calculator, because you can set your zero. So if you zero at 200, you can put that in the calculator and it calculates it.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter about the calculator. What I'm talking about is like, if you don't have access to your phone and you're out in the mountains or something, and let's say you see a deer, or not even in the mountains, like you're just out somewhere in the woods, and you come up on like a prairie or like flat land that's just cleared, and you see a deer and you range it, and it's like, it could be like within, let's say like 175 yards or something like that. Well, if you zero at 200, I'm not saying 0 inch and a half at 100. I'm saying if you zero at 200, you're gonna have to aim your reticle lower than you really want. Versus if you zero at 100, you aim at like top of the shoulder and it'll hit where you want it. Versus trying, it makes it more consistent on how you aim the gun, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I need to look, because I need to figure out what each hash mark means on this tree and everything.
I can teach you that.
Yeah.
Oh, do you still have,
holdovers?
do you still have the box for that scope? Read the manual.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
Yeah, like that's one thing with like scopes and stuff that I never did like as like a younger kid, because I was like, you just throw the scope on and you dial a turret, you get it set, and you're good to go. That actually, like the thing actually, it teaches in Hornady's Vortex's little book, teaches you how to range with the reticle,
Yeah.
with the first focal plane reticle. Like if you know the measurement of the target, so if it's like a 36-inch target, you can do it on your phone, or you can do it on a calculator, you can write it down or whatever.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I want to get more into.
Which probably we'll get more to in the spring,
Yeah.
whenever you're not hunting.
Doing more target shooting.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I
But-
really need to go to bed.
yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. So
Yeah, we are sitting at 11:25. Holy shit, I'm gonna not wake up in the morning. Anyways, hopefully y'all heard some good things. We're gonna definitely do a deeper dive into comparing the Brigueras. I mean, they're the exact same rifles, just one's different color and different cartridge.
Yep. But
It-
also, you know,
One of them is chambered in my top favorite,
and
cartridge of all time.
One's chambered in my top cartridge of all
which
time.
is kind of funny
And-
because
and
we
and we don't own the one that we like.
Yeah.
You know, the one
You
that we
own the
support.
one that's chambered in my favorite, and I
Yeah.
own the one that's chambered in yours.
And you know what's funny? You weren't the one to convince me to get that gun.
Yeah,
I think I convinced you to get.
you
the 308.
convinced me to get the 308 because I was gonna get this. The only reason I didn't get this in 2250 is I already have two of them in 2250, and I wanted something new.
I wanted a magazine fed 2250.
Not gonna lie,
Like, I wanted one forever.
if I could go back, I probably would have got 6.5 PRC.
That's more thumpy than 308.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind. I probably would have got. I almost got it in 6.5 Creedmoor.
That wouldn't have been a bad gun. It's so heavy. But
Yeah.
all right, I think it's a good place to end it though.
Yeah.
So
So until next time, stay safe
stay active.
and enjoy the outdoors.